came up on another type of what I suspect is a pointer. Interesting. When I first came up, I didn't think much of it, but let me show you why I'm suspecting it's a pointer. If you see this end here, it's held on a very, very small branch, and only about 4 inches that's hanging over the branch. This thing is massively wedged in and bowed around this tree over to these. Now at first, again, it didn't really seem anything weird to me till I got down here. This branch here, if it wasn't wedged on this tree here, there's no way that that part would have stayed up there and been able to make that bow. So with that, it is really getting me to wonder if this was placed or if this is natural. This is an area of activity that we've had quite a little activity in this area. Just one ridge that we hadn't explored yet. Here's some of the odd stuff that I see out here too. We got a fresh break on that branch. And if we scour the ground under it, the branch is not there. That one there is not from this tree. One thing that was kind of an unusual, neat little feature is that right here, that old one seems to had been laid up there. Again, nothing conclusive, but when you start finding broken branches that are inside an area that if something would have fallen on it, would have definitely broke these other branches too, and it hasn't. Kind of makes you wonder why it might be broken and not here. This is another type of thing that I find throughout the research area. Some folks call it stuffage, some folks call it asterisks, but it just is a lot of different branches stuffed into bows of trees, into limbs, whatever. With this, there's probably 6, maybe 7 different branches suspended up by different means, and none of this is sitting on the ground. You zoom in here, you can see that this other one has kept it off the ground. It comes through there and lays down. Again, not conclusive by any means, but it's something that I do keep a lookout for, because for nature to put all this stuff into one area is not likely. So it either means one of 2 things. Either there's a man that did it for whatever reason, or something else with hands and intelligence. Okay, here's one of the most controversial ones that people talk about as far as manipulations, and it's a bow. As we all know, nature's going to make bows with storms, heavy winds possibly, but a lot of times it's got to do with ice and snow. Now, one thing that makes this one a little bit more interesting that I won't write off as complete natural is all the other stuff that seems to be woven into it. This big piece that is the one that appears to be holding this down. In scanning the trees, I'm not able to see where it came from. Again, this is still a live tree. As you can see, it's starting to bud out. Now, there are others around here that are smaller and indicative to the possibility of storm. However, most of them are not held down like what this one is. Again, we've got 1, 2, 3 pieces that are incorporated into this. Again, all of them are suspended This area here, it doesn't make any sense of how they would have woven themselves together to be on that side there and this side here. Again, this is one that, in my opinion, a lot of researchers take for granted, and from my personal experience, I write off 99% of them. But again, bows is another thing that a lot of people put weight on. And again, it's also in the areas when I find them like this that I do set up audio and have some results. Here's another highly suspected bow. Again, there's a lot of different stuff on here, some going different directions. But what caught my eye about this one is when you come and take a look. Again, we have got this main bow that's under this log, which, okay, that may have fallen, been there. But it also wrapped up with this as a way of helping to hold it down. Again, this one has since died. But when you look at the rest of the stuff that's added to it on the ground, it becomes highly suspected that it is a manipulation rather than something that nature has provided us. Again, not conclusive by any means. But again, this is stuff that I look for when I'm inspecting a new area for setting audio to see if I can get the vocalizations. This is one area that, again, I really can't even label it. I call it beyond odd. There's just so much stuff, you know, bows going different directions. But one thing that just got to be real fascinating when I did the walkthrough is this right here. I know it's kind of dark, clouds in the background. But this and this could have at one time been part of it. This is all went down, fell, not a problem. But now when we start taking a little bit closer look, again, we're jammed there and held up over there. Again, this could have been the natural break, but by the different rot patterns on it, I suspect it's been set up here. Again, I can't prove it, but this is one area where I've set up audio recorders and had some of my best stuff. This one over here is also laid out wrong. Could have come from above, but for it to be sitting straight vertical like that seems awful weird. Again, I can't prove it. I just can't prove it. But this is the stuff that I look for as possible sign that they're around. What it means, no idea. No idea at all. But we've got stuff on the grounds that forms X's and different things. Again, this is one place that I have done some audio work and caught some vocalizations.